Okay, we're going to start. Welcome, everybody, at our lunch of the research platform Connected Learning. And we are very glad today that we have a sort of a masterclass of Margot from Sluytman and Reinekke Lengelle with the inspiring title, oh, it's not here, but it's here, Sawbonna, I See You. And that's about Be the Change, writing your voice of justice and resilience. And those values, justice and resilience, are very much connected also with our research platform, because all our research groups work from these values. And yeah, we're very glad with you here in the Netherlands, and also glad with Reinekke. She's again in the Netherlands, and you are very inspiring for us and helps us keep forward writing about yourself, your inner voice, etc., etc. And we are going to look today how we can do that. Reinekke will introduce Margot, and we have till 1:30, I think.
No, till Christmas.
Till Christmas.
It's a
Good,
short
till
talk.
Christmas. And I also want to say that Reinekke is part of the research group of Ellen Shure, Sustainable Development. So, talent development. Sustainable talent development. Okay, Reinekke.
Thank you very much, Wâtte. When I sent the email out, Wâtte paid particular attention to it and got the ball rolling. So I want to thank you for getting the ball rolling to get this presentation here. It's wonderful to be able to introduce Margot, a joy and an honor to introduce you here. And we share a passion for voice, for words, for sharing words in a way that we really get into contact with ourselves and are able to articulate and have deeper dialogues with others as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our mission here at the Hague University to introduce Margot and to talk about the connections. So Margot and I met 12 years ago at the National Association for Poetry Therapy conference in Oregon. She was receiving the Seeds of Joy Award for her publications and courses about writing for personal development and resilience, as well as presenting a workshop based on those things. We were the only two Canadians there at the time, and we happened to be living in the same province. You know, Canada's an extremely large country, so we only had 300 kilometers between us, so I immediately invited myself over to her house after we got back. And we did some fun stuff and book launches and such together for her work. So we recognized our kinship as colleagues of creative and expressive writing. Our dynamic dialogue has been developing ever since. I invited her to come to The Hague with me to share her work with you, as it's an ongoing process of wanting to empower and inspire our staff and our students. So we need inspiration, and she's here to bring us some. So before introducing Margot, I'll begin with a short introduction about the work we've been doing here at The Hague for 11 years now, beginning in the research group of Frans Meijers. In introducing Writing the Self, which is the foundation of career writing, many of you will know what career writing is. Well, the foundation for that is Writing the Self in our teaching and research program. And we've been doing research and training instructors here in this ongoing process of self-reflection. And what happens in education, as many of us will know, is that the emphasis is always on the external dialogue, on let's talk to others, let's learn about others, let's try to accept others, let's find out about what people are thinking or what literature is out there. And something that's underemphasized in education is how is that actually impacting me, and what kind of inner conversation is happening while I'm reading those resources or while I'm in dialogue with something, because that inner dialogue combined with the outer dialogue creates the stories with which we go through life. And if, for instance, if we think about global citizenship, we think about how important it is for us to understand people of different cultures and open ourselves up to that. But if we're not paying attention to the internal dialogue, which is full of fears and prejudices and good intentions and all of those things, we are going to miss out on a vital piece that we need in order to really connect with others and deepen those dialogues. So voice and poetry, we're both poets, we use to develop that deep internal sense of connection, and that really changes our external dialogues. So self-reflection, when you ask people in an educational institution, what is self-reflection, they'll often say things like, well, get to know me better, get to know my talents so I can match them to work out there. But self-reflection is a much deeper process of actually getting in touch with feelings. Hey, that's a scary word for an educational institution, right? Feelings, oh my goodness, I'm not a therapist. No, but we really need to do that. And also to see how we situate ourselves within conversations. So that's the beginning of a process, a very important process. So I have some wonderful definitions of self-reflection, but I'm not going to bore you with reading too much from my paper. But what I do want to say is that we've had conferences here for many years now. Every 2 years, we usually have a conference where we deepen this kind of work. And a really good book has come out of that called Self-reflectie in het hoger onderwijs. And Frans Meijers and Carina Mietendorf are the editors of that book. And I highly recommend it to anybody because it really looks at self-reflection in a much deeper way than we're ordinarily used to looking at it. So now I'm going to introduce Margot. For this, I am going to use the paper because she has such a long list of amazing accomplishments, and so I want to do her justice. So, Margot is a celebrated teacher, award-winning poet, sought-after speaker, justice activist, and political influencer who works across Canada and internationally. She was just in London last week for 2 days, back and forth. She's to be a voice of resilience and agency, informing, reforming, and transforming justice policies in public and private domains. She has received several awards for her publications and for her work and autoethnographic research on Sawbonna. These awards include being named the Alumnus of Distinction in 2018 for Athabasca University. That is my other employer, Athabasca University. That's another way that we have connected. And so it's a great honor for Athabasca University, too, in a double way for this to be presented today. And they know about this presentation today as well. So she has also more recently been nominated by Canada Senator Kim Pate for the National Justice Canada Excellence in Victim Service Award for 2019, so she's a nominee. Resilience and reconciliation, voice and agency are the foundations of Sawbonna, with Margot's lived mantra being the personal is the political. And in the year 2000, she was gifted with the spirit name Raven Speaks. And she honors this gift, inviting her students to remember that they have two eyes. I love this. She said two eyes, which really, in academic speak, is the internal and the external dialogue again. So please help me to welcome Margot van Sluytman.